you cannot tunnel through. Remember, God specializes in things that seem impossible. And He will do. And He will do. And He will do. Yeah. I don't care what the doctor says. I still believe. I still believe. I don't care what the symptoms are. I still believe. I still believe. He's not a man that he should lie. And his word is true. Yes, it is. And he will do what the power can do. You're the God of me. You're the You're the somebody say come on and declare that you are the God and signs we believe in your power. Somebody shout.
If you believe in something long and hard, if you believe in something with all your heart, it shall come to pass. I see miracles, I see miracles, I see miracles happening for you. I see miracles, I see miracles, I see miracles happening for you. If you believe in something long and hard, if you believe in something with all your heart, it shall come to pass. I see miracles, I see miracles, I see miracles happening for you. I see miracles, I see miracles, I see miracles happening for you. Think it into existence. You have to speak it into existence.
Gospel 88.7 WEHA. It's more than music. It's ministry.
Well. Hey, JP, baby Dub.
Yes, sir. Everywhere I go, I take my Jesus with me. Everywhere I go, I take my Jesus with me.
That feel real good.
Everywhere I get my Jesus with me.
That feel real good.
I spend in the next time.
Let's go.
I got no reason to fear. I got Jesus on my side. I got that.
Wait,
I got that.
that's my victory, right?
I got that.
I win. You might want to turn it up. You might want to turn it up.
Everybody's asking why you always laughing when there is no reason to smile.
To smile.
And everybody saying,
Oh, yeah.
why do you keep praying? Things ain't changed for you in quite a while. When I think of all the stuff I had to go through just so I could be here today.
My Lord.
It always reminds me, go ahead and be thankful, cause I know my blessings.
Cause my blessings on the way, yeah.
Said I'm gonna make it, said it couldn't be done.
But every time they see me, they say they're going.
already. I am super pumped. It's like every other Thursday I am. I'm super excited because we got some guests in the house. Yes. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to just go ahead and just move forward and just so we can give our guests some time to let us know a little bit about them and share their experiences. That's going to talk to the youth that's in our community, so I'm so excited. Lamia is here. You say hi to the audience, Lamia.
Hi.
Hi. Yes. And then we have Charmaine Gunther-Gary. And you can say hi. Okay.
Hello.
All right. And of course, we have our Julie Farmer.
Hey.
That's always going to keep us grounded and bring us in alignment with what's brought us here.
Exactly. Let's tell you again, because we have to do this over and over again. It's so important to talk about why we're here, who's sponsoring us, and the purpose of the program. We're sponsored. We are the Atlantic City Municipal Alliance. We are sponsored by JACATA, the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse, and we are actually the Atlantic City Municipal Community Awareness, which means we're going to bring some community information to our community. I told you she was coming. I'm so excited to have Charmaine Gunther-Gary here. We talked a little bit about her. She does so much more than what we discussed. That's why I wanted her here to talk about what she does. She is the Atlantic County Rites of Passage and a million other things. Hopefully we'll have time to get it in. We'll tell you about the Atlantic City Municipal Alliance a little bit later on, but let's get this thing started.
That's right. Like, so if you're looking on Facebook, you'll see the number at the bottom of the screen. So if you have any comments, you have any questions, we always try to encourage everybody to just get active, just be interactive. You have some questions you're not certain of, some people know Charmaine Gunther-Gary very well. Yeah, just a few people. No, but and might even know what she does. However, there's some people that don't. That say like we don't know what to do with our youth, we don't know what to do with our kids, and so I love what Julie said in the beginning, looking at the purpose of this program. Of course, we have our sponsorship, who is part of our purpose, but our purpose is to bring about community awareness. Our purpose is to talk about the effects of drug and alcohol on our families and our community. Our purpose is to just uplift our community with some hope and love and inspiration, some revelation, exposing some of the, not just the drug and alcohol aspect and how it affects it, but underneath, like how can we help prevent our youth from going down that path. So that's why we have Charmaine Gunther-Gary here, right? Okay. To answer that question when people say, what is there for the youth and what's going on and how are we going to prevent some of these things from happening? Mm-hmm. She's been out there. She's been doing this thing for a really long time. So I'm going to allow her to be able to, share her story and how she got involved in the community and bringing programs to it. All right. You look like you got something to say.
Yes, I do. Okay, I just want to tell you where we are, actually. We are at,
I've seen it all over.
We have gospel radio station. We're on 88.7 and 100.3 FM. If you want to look at us on Facebook, we have gospel. And if you want to call in, the phone number is 1-609-641-8870. So call in and participate. Call in and ask the questions, because she has a lot of knowledge, in regards to what she does here in the community, not just in Atlantic City, anywhere, because she not only operates her program in Atlantic City, but she helps so many other program mentors and facilitators with their programs too.
All right. So so we don't want to be the advocates. Of course, we're going to advocate for you, but we want you to be able to tell us a little bit about the program and how it all got started and what is your role within the community and what do you do?
We only have an hour.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe 45, 50 minutes, something like that.
Okay, well, to those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Charmaine Gunther-Gary, and actually for the last 40 years. I started 40 years ago, working with young people in Philadelphia. I have been a big sister, a Girl Scout leader, a gang intervention crisis worker in Philly, and then I came to Atlantic City in 1984, and I continued volunteering and working with young people. My mom started a program called the Young Entrepreneurs Program as she ran her own business in Atlantic City for 36 years. She wanted to teach other young people about how to operate and own their own business. We still do that program to a much smaller extent now than we used to, but we still teach young people entrepreneurship through the Rites of Passage program. I worked as the director of the Atlantic County Youth Advocate program, and then I went on to be the director of Health and Human Service for the city of Atlantic City. And then I started my own nonprofit called the Atlantic County Council of Youth Programs. In 2012, I started another nonprofit called Empowerment Tools Coalition. And under that nonprofit, I basically reached out to other small community-based programs to help them get their 501c3 status, their charitable registration, do all of the things that you need to do to go after grant monies. And I still do that today. I also am the grant administrator for One Neighborhood Evolution. And if you've noticed in Atlantic City, there has been a decrease in gun violence in the last 6 months, and I'd like to think it's because of the guys that work in that program. They hit the streets. They're out at 2 in the morning, 3, whatever time it is that they need to intervene to stop the gun violence in our community. They're out there, and there are some exceptional guys that are doing a miraculous job, and they're from the streets, so they speak that language and they know exactly. So I'm their paperwork person.
Would you be able to name them or? Maybe.
Or like more importantly, could you tell us just a little bit about the One Evolution? Because I personally, I know this is the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yes, that's why we're not out there to the point where other programs, they want to be in a paper, they want recognition. Our program works much better underground, behind closed doors, working with the guys and ladies on the streets to get them to put down their guns and mediate the problems. And I met these guys when I was working with the LIT program last year, and I wanted some people in the work program that nobody would give a chance to or give a job to.
Okay.
The ones that would are normally, people just look at them and say they're not going to hire them. So I went to them because I know that they were out on the streets working, and that's when I got involved with the One program, because they gave me some tough guys, but it proved fruitful in a large sense, because we also did workshops with this summer employment program, which helped the young people understand who they are, financial literacy, anger management, conflict resolution. We did an array of different workshops and programs with them while they actually went on job sites and worked. We did 24 kids last year on average. We did a total of 30, but as we lost some, we backfilled, but we kept 24 on the roles working. And this year, my pastor, Reverend Collins A. Day Sr., is looking to do the same program, but he wants to do it with 200 kids. So while I'm on the radio, I'm getting ready to send this appeal out and letters out to the nonprofits. We're looking for 10 nonprofits to work with us on this venture, and they in turn would take 20 youth, and they would be the ones to administer and oversee these youth on their work sites. So it's going to be a very unique program. We're working with the prosecutor's office. We're working with probation. We're working with, they don't call it DIFUS no more. They call it,
DCP&P.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I know them people. So
would be you.
yeah, I know. That's not me. But 200. So he's looking to work with 200 kids, and then 10 non. So So what you're looking for is 10 nonprofits.
10 nonprofits.
That's
and-
going to help. That's going to at least work with these youth.
Right.
Okay.
And also in interim, we're looking for work sites that will help mentor and give the young men and women a meaningful work experience. Last summer, they worked the farm. They worked with
We worked
the
at Atlantic City, the streets,
the
cleaning up
streets, the Clean Community Streets program with the city of Atlantic
were at
City.
Asbury.
They worked over at Asbury and at PAL,
Mm-hmm.
at Atlantic City PAL, the police department was part of the. So we're looking to expand that out. Each work site had 5 youth. So if we are looking to do 5 youth at a work site, we're looking for a whole lot more.
Wonderful.
About 40 work sites this year.
Wow. See, we started off with having an agenda for one thing, and have uncovered some other stuff.
Right.
So this is good stuff, because people will look at some of the gun violence that's going on, that's happened in Atlantic City, and people are saying, so what do we do? And you see it in the news, and you see all this stuff, but then like people say, well, there's nothing available. And here we're saying, like, there are things available. People are out there working to help this. Like, it doesn't go away overnight, but you're seeing a decrease in this. So for those children, those youngsters, first of all, what's the age groups?
14 to 17, because that's legally the age groups that we take them up to their 18th birthday. So,
Okay.
So we're hitting the ground running with that program this year, so that we'll have all of the work sites, all of the supervising agencies, and all of the youth ready to. They're going to go through some pre-employment training programs, workshops, and then they'll be able to actually go onto the work site and do what they need to do. Because most of the youth we worked with last summer never filled out they never worked, first of all. And so they never filled out a timesheet. They never knew that, I have to be to work. You said 9 o'clock, but, 9:15, I'm here. And that was okay with them. So I had some incentives, and I had some minus points. So if they did well, they had incentives. If they didn't, incentives. And if they didn't do well, and it took them about a paycheck or two to understand the incentive part of it.
Yeah. Start messing with people's money. That's all you need. Oh, $10 is deducted?
Yeah.
For what?
Will you be trying to work with any of the parents with this program?
Well, we have one parents' workshop scheduled so far, and so that the parents will be aware of everything that we're doing with their child. We did that on at the beginning of the program last year, but then the ones that came in afterwards, we just did individual meetings with the parents. So we're looking to maybe halfway through the program is to try to get the parents back together and get an assessment of what they think and what's going on with their child. Are they improving? Are they not improving? What do we need to work on them with? What's going on?
Right.
And
So you're absolutely right. An hour. This is never. Yeah.
because I haven't even hit rites of passage.
Haven't even hit it. So I'm staying mindful that we haven't hit it. But so we also have a guest with you,
Yes.
and we have Lamia. How old are you, Precious?
13.
Wow. So will you be 14 by the time this program starts?
When's your
This
birthday?
summer?
July 21st.
On the cutting edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. So before we let you really speak out on your story, can you tell us a little bit, Charmaine, about the rites of passage?
All right. So in 1996, I was working as a director of health and human service, and I had been asked by, remember Central Junior High School?
Yes, I do.
But-
I went there.
To come over and do some workshops with the girls because they were concerned about how the girls were acting and everything. So I went to Central Junior High School, and when I walked into the room that they had the group with, it was interesting because I didn't see young ladies. I saw young girls emulating boys. Baggy, the big baggy pants, the big T-shirts, the slouch instead of being young ladies. So I went back and I said, we need a program to bring these girls back to being young ladies. So my first train of thought was to do the program as a program just on etiquette and how to be respectful, how to respect yourself, how to have other people to respect you. And then my sister, Diane, was working with a national organization, African American Women on Tour. And they went to 46 cities throughout the year. And she did the rites of passage part for young girls. So I took my mother up there, and when I went up there, I saw there was a busload. She had 100 girls for the weekend. And I saw one busload get off, and these girls was like cursing and talking about, I don't want to be here, and ready to fight. And I was like, I looked at my sister, I said, you spending a whole, because they was in one big room. It's like a big sleepover for the whole weekend from Friday until Sunday. And I said, look, I got some mace. I got a club. I got some things that you're going to need this weekend. So she goes, no, I'll be all right. I said, and my sister Diane is not from a rough neighborhood or nothing. She's like naive. And I said, no, they're going to eat you alive. And she kept saying, I'm going to be all right. So I went back up that Sunday to pick up my mom, who had stayed with her. And I went into this room, and I'm like, oh, Lord. And I saw this big sea of beautiful African queens.
Wow.
Talking about their futures, talking about how they're going to turn their life around, talking about how they're going to take control of their life. And I'm like, what is this program? I gotta have it. So it was rites of passage. And basically, she did it just off the top of her head, and I can't work that way. So I took her 12 workshops that she took the girls through over that weekend, and I made it into a long program. So it was weekly, and I don't know if I could have did the weekend thing, because I don't know if I would have lasted more than 4 hours with a rough group like that. I just don't know. I didn't want to test myself either. So, so our first rites of passage program was just 12 weeks, and it was from September until December, and then we did a second class from January until April. It wasn't until about 6 years ago that the kids said, this isn't long enough. We want to talk about anger management. We want to talk about drug and alcohol causes of the effects on the bodies. We want to talk about, so they gave me a whole nother list. So now we're 26 workshops.
Wow.
And we go from October until April. And basically we meet Tuesdays from 5 to 7. The first hour is I don't want to say lecture. It's more like a workshop, because y'all know Minister Bronte Walker. He's like wonderful. He comes in and he's very interactive with the young people when he talks. And then the second half, we have some type of activity about whatever that workshop was, to see what their retention was. What did you learn? What did you know about? And interesting so far, again, Minister Bronte Walker has the highest score.
Wow.
Of what they learn. And he does 2 workshops. He does the first workshop on just basic drug and alcohol education. what they should know, what's new out on the streets, what they should look for, what's going on. And then he listens to them because, you know, they know some stuff too. So that, then they tell. So therefore, he's writing down too. He says, oh, okay, I got to know that. And then he comes back a month later and he talks about the effects of drug and alcohol on the body and how it affects your eyes, your mouth, your hair, every aspect of your body, what drugs and alcohol does to your body. And then they're quizzed on that information afterwards. And last year he was 96%. This year he's 96% again on what they learned. So he's exciting. He's you know, not that the other speakers aren't, and I'm not, because I do a lot of the workshops. But I think he has this command of how he wants to disseminate the information and get them to give it back to him. So.
Awesome.
Now, I know you also did a workshop on trauma, and you brought in Indra Owens.
Yes.
For that workshop. How was that
Yes.
one?
That was really good because one of the things about it, that was our workshop that we had on anger. And one of the things that came out of it from last year was that we need a piece on trauma. So Indra came in and she did a very nice workshop, very good on trauma. And we really need to expand on that part too. So I have another organization called Peace Amongst Youth that's run by Callie Kors. And she basically, that is her major focus also, is working with families that have gone through trauma.
Okay. So, speaking of youth, you know, we're going to give Lamia just an opportunity to share. How did you come about or become a part of the rites of passage, and how has it affected your life, or what role has it played in your life?
I started rites of passage when I was in 6th grade. Miss Charmaine was at our school giving out papers to sign up, and me and my friends signed up for it. The first year I liked it, so I started coming back. The second year I really liked it because we went on this trip to Washington, D.C.
Oh. And what was the trip? What do you remember? Any details about the trip that
We
made
went
you?
to the African American Museum.
Wow. And what did you learn at the African American Museum that you didn't know?
I didn't know much about Emmett Till. Or
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, I'm into Black History, so.
Yes.
Okay. See how excited he is? Okay, so you didn't know much about Emmett Till? Emmett Till, I'm sorry. And so what else did you learn?
I learned about the black environment before I was born.
Okay, all right, wonderful. And so how did that play a role in changing some things in your life? Or did it?
Yes. I feel grateful because back in the day, they didn't have much like as we have now.
Okay, all right. So you seen that they worked so much more with what they had instead of like what we have, considering what we have right now.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So so you've been in it for what? You've gone at least twice, 2 or 3 times?
Yes.
Through the rites of passage. And what has it done for you as a young lady?
Taught me things about life.
Okay.
Not to do drugs. Teenage pregnancy. Anger management.
Okay. I can't imagine you was ever angry. I know you so. Okay, all right. How do you manage your anger or your emotions?
Writing on paper.
Okay. Good. Okay. So you journal. Awesome.
So you've been through, you said this is your second year?
My third.
Your third year. What is your favorite workshop? What's the topic, the subject matter?
Like the babies.
What's that one?
The baby think it over.
Baby Think It Over.
Ah.
Well, okay, so
tell
what is
us
that
a little bit
about?
about Baby Think It Over. I like the title.
So do I.
It's when you take the baby home and it cries and stuff, and you got to take care of it and make sure Charmaine can see everything you doing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so, okay, so you get to be mama for a day with this crying baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets to monitor how you respond. So if you try to put it in a closet, she will know all about it, huh? So it made you think twice or 3 times, like, no, we're not throwing these crying babies.
See,
Awesome.
this is some good stuff. This is some really good stuff. I'm so glad that you're here to talk about what you're getting from the program. Because I get a chance, I work at Second Baptist Church, so every once in a while I'll walk through and I'll say hi to you guys and run on home. But I really enjoy seeing it because most of the kids that come in, they're excited about coming in. You know, I see them jump out the car and run in the door, and you go in your place and you help Miss Charmaine out, taking care of things. So I appreciate being able to see that too.
Yes.
You know, it's nice to have those programs.
Yes. And thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to share? So is your friend still going with you?
Yes.
Nice.
Wow, that's right. So see, bring a friend. You don't have to do this by yourself. Bring a friend. It makes it even more, a whole lot better when you have somebody that you can tag along with and somebody that you can share the experience with that know what you're talking about.
One of the things that excites me about Rites of Passage is the crossover. I had an opportunity, now I think 2 or 3. No, I think it was 3. I went to the one at the Sheraton.
Right.
I went to the one at the,
Memorial Building.
so I went to 2 at the Sheraton because I went when Nas graduated, and then I went at Soldiers Home. And it's a spirit that you feel. It's not just something that you watch and you're a part of the audience, but you feel everything from. And then you have who does the bongos?
That's
Judah Dorrington. Yes. And she plays the bongos the whole time, and man, it's a long time. And then to watch, you know, the kids come out in their African garb and just the chant and what is it? Tell me the chant.
Which one? They do 3.
There's something that you have in the back of your book.
You talking about when they're coming in, when they're marching in?
When they're marching in.
Well, we have a couple of them, so I'm not sure which one.
It's Ashe. What is that one?
Oh, Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah. My sister, when she was here, if you remember, my sister, when she was here, that's something, she does Rites of Passage still down in Miami.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know that one as much as the one we first learned. So that's my sister who does that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just get so excited. I'm like, I just
Yeah,
have
it
to
is.
be
You know,
there.
one of the things that we've been doing this 24 years. Next year will be our 25th year. And one of the things that a lot of the young people that have gone through the program say is that one of the most incredible events was the crossover. I met one girl that was working with a group that was putting on a community event, and she said, "Yeah, Miss Charmaine, you know, I think the crossover, I was more excited about that than my wedding."
Wow.
I was like, "Oh, well, maybe I needed to be your wedding coordinator."
Yes. and you know, one of the other great things about it is having the parents walk in
with the children,
and then they present them to something.
Right.
You know.
Actually, they're presenting to each other.
Okay.
Wow.
The young person is presenting the words of wisdom that they've learned for that time, and then the parent gives them their medal for achieving and making it to the crossover. We have 24 youth this class, and 20 of them will be eligible to do, as we say, crossover, because you have to make so many workshops. And we had some of them to come in late. And I explained to the parents, I said, well, they'll still participate. Nobody will know that they didn't cross over per se, but you, because it'll read differently on the certificate. And they're not eligible for any of the awards or prizes. I said, but when they come back next year and they make up the workshops that they didn't get to, I said, then they'll be eligible to cross over with the other young people.
Okay.
Now, you said someone heard about Rites of Passage on the radio?
Yes, somebody was telling me that, and so we got a new person in. They came in and they says it's too late, and that's when I explained, no, I never turn a youth away that wants to come and be a part of something. They want to come and get off of that video game or off of the couch and come and get involved and learn something about themselves and the world around them. I never ever have turned a young person away in that aspect. That's why it killed me last summer with the summer work program, that we had so many kids after a while that would come in and looking for a job. And see, that aspect, I needed money. I needed sponsorship, and we were into 4 weeks into the program almost, and that I felt some type of way that I had to turn these kids away.
And that was with the LIT program?
Yes.
Yeah, it was amazing because the kids talked about it. I remember a few of the kids would bring their friends in to speak to Pastor Days, like, Pastor Days, this is my buddy, he needs a job, what can you do? And you couldn't do it because we didn't have the funds to pay.
That's why, because by the end of the summer, we had 72 on that waiting list.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So for that program, like, out of the 24 kids that completed, how do you follow up with them? Like, how are they doing
They
that?
follow up with me.
They
Miss
follow-
Jermaine, can you get me a job after school? Miss Jermaine, can you come to the school? I'm having issues with a teacher, and they're just not listening. And because some of them don't understand that, as I used to tell them, you're the child, I'm the adult. And we used to say that. I said, let's say that. Because some of them thought that they were on the same level. And I said, no, baby. Because that's how they do it at home.
Right.
You know. So I'm like, no, baby. I said, you ain't on my level yet.
So do you advocate for kids, or do you like follow up at the school just to find out like what's going
Child
on?
calls me, I'm there. I go to the homes, I go to the schools, I go to the courts with them, I go wherever they need. They call me, I make a way, you know, because that's what I did for a long time, and that was a real rewarding time of my life to see these young people that I did advocate for to make it out from where they were. I write a lot of journals, and I have one of my journals, and it's called Walking Out of Darkness, and that was during that time that I worked in the advocate's office, because at that time I just saw how a lot of young people were in the darkness, and they were able to find a way to walk out and find their own voice and find their own way. So that was very gratifying. And having done this for 40 years, I see the end results. You know, some people that are just starting out and working with young people, they get frustrated and they're like, but no, sow those seeds. Just keep sowing those seeds.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, so we're going to have to take a little short commercial break. But we want to just remind you, like, this is a Christ Center, community focused, listener supported. We have gospel 88.7 FM and 100.3 FM here in Atlantic City. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Years ago.
All right. So we are back. We're back. See how quickly that was?
What I want to talk about, I'm going to go back because I rushed through who we are and what we do. We are the Atlantic City Municipal Alliance, sponsored by JACATA, the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse. What we promote is drug education, awareness, and prevention. We are, Lisa and I, myself, we pulled out and decided to do an Atlantic City Municipal Community Awareness Program. Our overview is Our awareness program was created in 2018 to host workshops and trainings and bring information to the community concerning drug and alcohol prevention. Our goals is to provide this information throughout the community, and that's why I really, really enjoy us having this forum, because we can reach not just our community, we can reach a little bit further out and get this information. I'm excited about Charmaine Gunter-Gary being here from the Rites of Passage, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about Turning Point Day Center, because that's another little thing in her pocket. But I want to talk about a couple of our other programs that we have. We have LEAD, that's Law Enforcement Against Drugs. That is with Sergeant Monica Corsi and Chaplain Eric McCoy, and they bring information to all of the schools within Atlantic City. They're, I believe, the 6th to 12th graders that they have workshops with. And then there's In My Care Mentoring Program and Brother to Brother, that is with Shalonda Austin. In My Care is a youth program for females, and Brother to Brother, of course, is for our young men. And we hope to have her on with us one of these days, so she can talk more about her program. And of course, last year when we were here, we had Chaplain Eric McCoy, and he was a lot of fun. He had an opportunity to speak with me and Lisa, and also your mom,
Right.
Miss Auntie Sally. And then we have us, the Atlantic City Community Awareness, but you know who we are.
That's right.
And pretty soon we'll be doing something big. We're looking to bring a few things in the spring when it gets a little bit warmer. So we want to do some things with our seniors, and get them educated on even just prescription drugs and things like that. So
yeah,
we're here.
That's
we're
right.
Here.
And we're going to be, it's about community awareness, and I thank Charmaine Gunter-Gary for bringing about awareness to the program, even some things that I didn't even know, as far as I knew about the youth program, the summer program and stuff, but what's actually going on out in the community. And one of the things that you talked about earlier was your mom with bringing a program for young entrepreneurs. So how does entrepreneurship play in your program now?
Like I said, it's not as prevalent as it used to be, because there was one year we actually opened up an ice cream shop where we were open for 2.5 years before eminent domain came along and took the property from us. And the young people did extremely well. They did a 16-week training program. They did food handling certifications. Our assistant supervisors were teenagers, the older teenagers, and we had 2 adult staff. All the rest of the staff with the ice cream shop were youth, and they, like I said, they did an extremely good job. At that time, Hershey's ice cream, they were our sponsors, and they came in and they did a lot of the training. They actually lent us all the equipment, so we didn't have to buy it. So they really came in and they were gung-ho on our whole program, and we were excited about going into our 3rd year. But and we were never able to recover because it was CRDA at that point in time had a change of guard, and focus went from community back to North Jersey.
Okay. So one of the great things I'm hearing is about community support. So it's not just you doing it alone.
Ooh.
It's not an independent thing, but we need that support within the community. So this is just that opportunity right now that we're having to be able to speak to the community about. So when people say what can be done, we know what's going on out here, but this is the things that can be done. When you can help a kid feel like they have a voice, or how do they channel their voice, then you're helping a whole community.
That's right. That's exactly right. And we do have some great community partners. And I just had a meeting with Mayor Marty Small, and I'm looking forward to what he's going to be doing in this community, working with a lot of other community partners to strengthen the programs and services here for our youth. I'm also looking forward to working with CRDA, they turned back to wanting to work and do programs and services for the youth in our community. So I guess the light bulb went off because for the longest time, us, the small community-based organizations, we kind of just were out there struggling on our own. And thank God for the Atlantic City Municipal Alliance that came along with some funding. And then, over the years, being in the business so long, people know what I've done. I've had some generous sponsors. Last year, the trip to Washington Mia talked about was funded by several community partners and people out there that knew that I was going to take 22 young people to D.C. And we were going to go to the Blacks and Wax Museum and the African American Museum, and they stepped in and said, okay, how much do you need?
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
So that, it's been very beneficial. On Tuesday, we're doing our 24th annual Black History Month program. We used to do it small at the church, at the PAL, wherever we were stationed. And we just did it with the young people in rites of passage, and their parents and friends would come, and it would be a nice little ceremony. But then it kind of branched out and got bigger, and so we're at the All Wars Memorial Building. We have 8 other youth organizations that are going to come in and perform and participate, and every year we've packed the house to the point where we have to turn people away because we have to listen to that fire marshal.
Right. So what is this, for the listeners to know, so it's this upcoming Tuesday?
This upcoming Tuesday, February 18th.
February-
Doors open at 5, program starts at 5:30, and we just do a dessert reception afterwards. But the whole purpose is to celebrate our heritage. And our theme this year is making our ancestors proud, youth moving forward.
Amen.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay. I know a little something with the babies. What is it called?
Baby Think It Over.
Baby Think It Over. I know at one point you said you needed dolls.
Yeah, we do, because the ones we have are getting to the point where they're old and no longer usable. And so we need about $1,500.
$1,500.
That we're looking to raise to get additional dolls. I was trying to get Municipal Alliance to fund it, but it kind of doesn't. It's an anti-pregnancy program. It's not an anti-drug and alcohol.
Yeah.
But
they'd have to be using drugs and got pregnant.
But you heard it, community. She needs $1,500 to purchase these dolls. I mean, it's for a good cause. And you heard one of our youth here saying that was one of her favorite workshops. So if our babies are saying that that's one that impact them, well, we got to do what we can to help them out. So if someone wanted to donate money to your program, how would they do it?
Well, people find me wherever I am. They find me at the church mostly.
Yes.
Now, I'm now at Turning Point. I volunteer there in the morning. I have given myself a title.
Okay.
So I'm the food service manager.
Okay.
And
All right.
I purchase all the food, and actually I'm cooking the food now.
Okay.
So
So can you, for our listeners that don't know, they're like, Turning Point, what is Turning Point?
Okay.
Where is it located?
Turning Point Homeless Day Center is on 1717 Bishop Richard Allen Avenue in Atlantic City. 90% of people that are homeless during the day do not have a place that they could go to for resource referral. And a lot of the other agencies that are in the area that work with homeless are extremely appreciative of this place, because now they no longer have to go out on the streets to find their clients. They can come right to Turning Point and work with them, provide them services, get them into counseling, vocational, housing. It's an array of different things that are going on there. I have been there since they opened, and then I left, and now I'm back again. And it's just a tremendous service that Turning Point Homeless Day Center provides to the community.
Okay, and I want to elaborate a little bit on Turning Point Day Center. Lisa and I are also involved with Turning Point Day Center. They are, and Pastor Collins A. Days, he is the president and founder of Turning Point Day Center, and Betty Lewis, she is the executive director. Turning Point is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They only take off Sundays, to try to, because people need a break. But it's all volunteers who go in there. We're not funded by anyone. We go on donations, fundings, small grants, anything possible to keep it going. But it's a tremendous place. We've changed a lot of hearts and a lot of minds of our homeless people who thought no one cared about them. But they walk in. Sometimes I'm speaking with Charmaine on the phone, and I can hear them saying, Miss Charmaine, and she knows them by first name. And they love her, she loves them. Betty, they love her, she loves them. I mean, it's a rough place to work sometimes, but it's so worth it to be able to do something and be of service to people who are in need. And a lot of them have gone from just coming in and being lost and it being a waiting place to now picking up a broom or picking up a rag and helping out and taking care of the place
getting work
or getting work
getting
or,
housing
and housing,
Yeah.
but just taking care of something that they truly care about too, because they care about Turning Point just as much as we do. So I always say, without them, Turning Point will be nothing. So they are the most important people, the ones that actually come in for help.
Yeah, and one of the other things about it is a lot of them have some problems that they're seeking to get help for, drug and alcohol, mental health, just plain old health issues. And I heard one of the guys telling somebody in the back, he said, I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for this place. And so I was at the microwave heating up my coffee because it gets cold, and then I take a sip, and then I got to go back out there and heat it up again. And I get to kind of hear a lot of the sentiment of a lot of the people that are there, and they're extremely appreciative of everything that we do. And I love working here. I love it.
That's awesome. And speaking of the fact that you're the food server,
food service manager.
Excuse me, food service manager and cook and fish fry Friday. Because you do, and I can say that the fish fry was excellent. Excellent.
Thank you.
I came over there last week, but on Friday. So where does the proceeds for the fish fry go?
That'll be determined by Turning Point.
Okay.
When we get up to $1,000, each $1,000 that I get, I'll turn it over to Turning Point. And we have a list of things that need to be done and
Yes.
donations that we need to have for the building. So hopefully, it would go prioritize the list and it would go toward that. So
Now, tomorrow's Friday, so talk about the fish fry.
Okay.
What time?
Okay, now remember, because I'm
I was
having
gonna say.
surgery,
Yes.
I'm going to be suspending Fish Fry Fridays for about a month,
Okay.
and then I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm coming back with, you didn't get the original cornbread, because I got a lot of complaints that.
I got that
The first week I did it, I had this special cornbread. And it takes a lot more work to do that cornbread than the regular cornbread.
Right. Corn in there.
And,
So good.
and I got a lot of complaints about not having the original cornbread. They said, "Oh, the fish was delicious. Your coleslaw is to die for."
Yes. I'm still trying to figure out what's in that coleslaw.
The best, but they said, you got to go back to the original cornbread. So I am. I'm going to go back to the original cornbread.
Awesome, awesome. Well, like we've talked about previously about taking care of yourself.
Right.
How important your health is.
Right.
It's a phenomenal thing to be an advocate and to help everybody else, but you first and foremost have to take care of yourself.
That's correct.
You got to follow up, and I know I've been encouraged strongly to make sure that I take care of myself, because you can get lost. I had the greatest experience this week being asked to do something, and I had to say no, I can't. I have to say yes to me, because you start feeling overloaded, and overwhelmed, and then how productive are you really being? So it's so important to take care of yourself. So you need that time off so that you'll be able to make that original cornbread. And then I got to come back in a month to get the original cornbread with the fish fry.
So it looks like we have 5 minutes for Lisa Unleashed to kind of wrap things up. We've been taking more and more of your time, girl.
No.
But
This is wonderful.
we're going to let you do your thing. I'm going to sit back and enjoy.
Awesome. And like I heard a lot of great things, and I want to thank the youngster for coming out, and I know that this might be a little uncomfortable, and sometimes it's even for myself, but I just smile through it and just keep going. And just as life, it will always bring about some uncomfortabilities when you're transitioning and making some changes in your life. It's not going to always feel comfortable, and it's not going to always feel like, oh, yeah, I got this. You're going to have to go in with some uncertainty. I remember the first day, even when Julie told me that we were doing this radio station. I'm like, what are we doing? And I just said, okay. Not even knowing what I was stepping into, but I'm so grateful, and I thank you, for coming out and just giving us some tidbits. Like most of the time I heard it said twice tonight. When you talked about your sister and some of the challenging girls that she encountered, and then even at turning point, some of the challenges that can happen. And most of the time we look at these youngsters, or we look at the people that are less fortunate, who may not have a place to stay, or maybe living on the streets, and we look at them as something other than human. And the reality of it is that we're all human, and it's that soul that you get to see and you get to experience, because most of the time people are just giving you that wall that they have now built up, and that protective shield that they've now pulled up on themselves, because they've been hurt. So what you see is what people may deem as difficult is really hurt being disguised. We sometimes fall into anger, and anger is just that the layer of hurt. It's easier socially, it's more acceptable to say I'm angry, because people can relate to that. But when we say, oh, wow, I'm really hurt. So I'd rather display my anger instead of showing you my vulnerability and saying that I'm hurt. So I thank you for being an advocate for the children, being an advocate for the community, going out here, not always having to say, oh, yeah, I'm over here, but being present enough to say, I'm here. And people knowing exactly where to go to find you. So I thank you for your dedication and your commitment, and that legacy being passed on, starting from your mom, and then hearing your sister, and then hearing you, a family full of advocates that said, listen, I see something, despite the fact that you may say, you're not really equipped for this. They're going to chew you alive. And she's stepping in there and saying, I'm just walking in with total faith. That's all I heard was that's just total faith. And sometimes you may not even understand, how can I do this? How can I take the act and make something out of it? Sometimes we just have to walk in faith and say, listen, I don't know how this thing is going to turn out. I don't know what I can do, but I know that I'm going to show up for the cause. So, because I know that there's a greater power, far greater than me, that knows what people need. So, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And I always look at this radio station. It's not just a thing that oh, let's come on and spend this hour, but being able to be just a beacon of hope, a beacon of light, to show people what's available, what's out there, because it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a community. It takes a village for programs to thrive. So don't always say, oh, they got it over there. They can do it. Charmaine got this. Listen, the businesses and the things that's out here, like you talked about the mayor wanting to take a part in some things, like we need you. Yeah, we definitely need you. Don't sit dormant and say there's nothing that I can do. Listen, you might just be that voice in that youth ear that's going to help them to change their minds. I love that that title, baby. What is it called again?
Think it over.
Baby, think it over. Ooh, I thought it was something else, but I love that. I mean, when you first said it, I was like, "Woo, what is that?" And then when you said the baby, like, yeah, you get a little doll that just keeps crying. Like, you just want to put it in the laundry basket. He crying, you ain't real, and you can't do that to something that's real. But like that first introduction, it's such a great gift to like find that purpose. Like you talked about the crossover. That crossover like can be done so many different places, because a lot of times, we think that darkness, that dark space that we may be in is where we have to live. The dark place is just a place in which you may be. It doesn't have to be where you stay. So there is a light, always the light. And sometimes we're in that darkness thinking that there's no such thing as a light, but we just standing in the dark with our eyes closed, not knowing that if you just open up your eyes, the light always shines. So like I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Always, always, always. We are Christ-centered, community-focused, listener-supported. We have Gospel 88.7 FM and 100.3 FM Atlantic City. We want to thank you, Precious. I know your name is not Precious, what? Listen, like Shareen said, listen, I'm an adult. I've had a few more birthdays than you. So, we start saying Precious and love, and that's respect.
That's right.
Yeah, I know your name is Lamia. I want to thank you. Thank you for sharing your story, just sharing just a little bit of how you got there, because you're going to have an impact on somebody out here that's listening. Somebody is listening and they're like, oh my goodness, I can get my girlfriend to come out there. And maybe that's something that we can do. And they can find something in the midst of it. A lot of times we say, children, I know I grew up in the era that children were supposed to be seen, not heard. And like, yeah, that didn't work all well for me. But to be able to give a child a voice, allowing and respecting that they have a voice, while in return them respecting us, like what a great gift.
Amen.
Such a gift. So thank you once again. Any last minute comments? All right. Thank you. You have any last minute comments? We got about 40 seconds.
Thank you for allowing us to come on. Thank you, Lamia. You were excellent.
Yes.
And everybody come out and support the youth on Tuesday.
Yes.
That's right. Yes.
At the Soldiers' Home or All Wars Memorial Building.
All right. And you said it starts at what time? 5?
Doors open at 5. The show starts at 5:30. Get there because they do close it out because we're packed. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We will see you next Thursday. It is Lisa Thomaselle and Julie Farmer. We'll be back next week. Have a wonderful day on purpose.
WEHA. It's more than music. It's ministry.
WEHA, Port Republic, Atlantic City, and now on FM translator 100.3 W262CF, Atlantic City.
Praise the Lord, everybody. This is Deacon Ray Hawks, also known as El Presidente, here at Gospel 88.7 FM and 100.3 FM, Atlantic City, where we have gospel. And yes, we're still spreading the gospel one song at a time. We want to thank God for all of our listeners who continue to pray for us and support us. Oftentimes I'm walking down the street and someone asks, Deacon Hawks, El Presidente, I want to help. I want to get involved. I want to do my part. And they say, how can I do that? And I say, you know something? You can log on to our website and participate in our 8 for 88.7. That's right, 8 for 88.7. That's where we ask you to get involved, and you can support us by just donating $8 a month. How do you do that? You just go to our website, www.wehavegospel.com. Press the donate button and just simply support us with $8 a month. It's that simple. Once again, just go to www.wehavegospel.com, click the donate button, and follow the instructions. There you go. It's as